It it's only a matter of time before Netanyahu is kicked out of being the PM, and then it's only a matter of time before he gets arrested by the ICC and one of its signatories. There are thousands upon thousands of people in Israel that have been protesting against him for various reasons and will continue to protest against him until he is removed.
Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's divisive prime minister, is in the eye of the biggest storm of his three separate stints in the job. Cracks within his coalition government are starting to show. Netanyahu has been assailed from every direction. The captives' families, anti-government protests, opposition, and now Israel's war cabinet minister Benny Gantz vows to quit by June 8 if there is no post-war plan for Gaza.
Netanyahu is a criminal. He commit human crime, and I'm sure that he would like the war to continue. He doesn't care about the kidnapped people. He doesn't care about all the 30,000 Palestinians, people that die.
For the
Yeah, even people in Israel understand that Bibi Netanyahu is using the hostages as pawns to continue the war in Gaza, the genocide, and the continued slaughter of innocent civilians. And there are Israelis against that.
moment, Netanyahu has succeeded in holding together far-right ministers such as National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir and Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich. The two leaders of hardline nationalist religious parties have alienated both Israelis and the United States, but they are the reason Netanyahu is able to stay in power.
Nobody is going to bring down Netanyahu.
Yeah, Netanyahu has sacrificed his standing with the international community and has isolated Israel from most of the world just so he can stay in power, just so he can have some type of influence with the right-wing parties of the Israeli government that control it. And this is a big problem with like right-wingers. They will eventually sacrifice everything so that they can keep some kind of power.
Because the only way you can bring him down is by elections. And since he has the majority in the parliament, in the Knesset, so you cannot force any elections on him.
Ephraim Enbar, president of the Jerusalem Institute for Strategic Studies, says politicians are setting themselves up for elections.
Basically, everybody thinks about the coming elections, and they are jockeying for a position toward those elections. So it's mostly politics rather than substantial differences how to deal with the situation.
Pressure is growing on Netanyahu from the considerable number of Israelis who believe he is putting his own political survival ahead of the interests of the country.
Every prime minister we had, those I supported and those I opposed, who were there for the goodness of the society, for the goodness of the state, for the betterment of the people. Netanyahu is there for his own private journey, joys, spoils, and corruption.
Yeah, there's been tons of Israeli citizens that have been protesting against Netanyahu long before October 7th due to his corruption and bribery charges. That's one thing he's been trying to avoid is the continuation of his corruption charges, and there are people that want him removed because of that. He is known for taking bribes, for being corrupt, and there's a lot of people who do not want a corrupt prime minister who takes bribes.
Netanyahu's detractors say part of his strategy is to prolong the war in Gaza, but for how much longer is open for debate. Many have counted Netanyahu out before, but Israel's longest-serving prime minister is also considered the ultimate political survivor. The veteran politician, once untouchable, is facing growing internal division and blame for intelligence and military failures. This criticism goes beyond mere crisis or scandal and is leading many to believe his days are numbered.